An A record is a DNS record that can be used to point your domain name and host names to an external static IP address. For instance, if you want to point your domain to a server that is outside our hosting network, you can do it by pointing that domain to the server's IP address through an A record. From your control panel, you can set an A record to your domain by going to My Domains and then DNS Records. To set a new custom A record, click on the Add New Record button and select the domain you want to set a record for from the hostname drop-down menu. If you want to set an A record for the subdomain, then fill in subdomain of the selected domain in the empty field before the domain drop-down menu. After that, choose A for DNS record type, then fill in the value field with the IP address of the external server where you want to point your domain to. Please note that each hosted domain and its pertaining subdomains already have an A record assigned, and by rule, a domain or subdomain can only have one A record assigned. This is so because if two A records are enabled, the domain or subdomain will resolve randomly on each one of them. So the changes you make here will simply overwrite the old A record redirection. After this, you need to select a TTL value. TTL stands for time to live and refers to the amount of time that an A record for a certain host remains in the cache memory of a DNS server. If you are not familiar with this feature, we recommend that you stay with the default value. Finally, you can enable GeoIP. GeoIP, or geolocation, detects the location of a user and loads your site from the closest location to the visitor. If you select to set geolocation, you will also be able to select the country, state, and even the city. When ready, click on the Add button. The change will be immediately reflected in our database, but generally, DNS propagation takes from 24 to 48 hours to complete on a worldwide basis. Now you know how to add an A record to a domain or subdomain.